Turn 4, we've had the first action of the turn. As we sort of pan out to have a look at the battle. Okay, those experienced mariners out there, the cardboard variety might laugh at my my movement, but here we go. This is what I've been attempting to do, and I'll tell you where the first fire's coming. So the British have just pushed forward, and I'll explain about these two ships at the front there in a moment. The French centre came down here to try and put as much fire into the front of these two ships as possible. We've been relatively successful with that. The Spanish have swung round. I've made a little bit of an error here because the distance between the French line and the British line is about 10 hexes. That's a very ineffective. I mean, he's just about long range, but you're not going to score many things there. I've had real problems with trying to sort out the French van here, that we can see them trying to bunch up a little bit, trying to just slow them down a little bit because they are reaching with the wind. We don't want to be sort of off the face of the board or the battle before a shot's been fired. However, let's go and have a look at the action here. So we can see we've had the Victory. Okay, so the Victory is fired its port broadside, and it actually fired at the Pluton as the Pluton was here because I'm using the defensive fire. Well, Nelson would not be happy with the gunnery. They're absolutely awful. So managed to line up an effective rake. Okay, and that's quite a long way, but you know he's a pretty good guy here. So set up an effective rake despite the distance, aimed at the hull, and what did they get? They managed to roll one rigging hit. Okay, so that was not very good fire. Nelson was not pleased with that, and we had the Mont Blanc and the Pluton did some return fire, which shredded Victory's rigging. Okay, so they're -2. Okay, so what happened there was a -2 during the drifting phase. Obviously, these guys are beaten into the wind. Okay, they are currently adrift. So it was after their movement, so these have drifted 1 hex with the wind there. Okay, now at the other British column, the same thing. However, the Northumberland had these 3 ships to contend with fire. Northumberland hasn't had a shot yet, and again rigging hits been pretty effective. 7 -2, so that ship was also adrift. Now with the adrift rules, as far as I understand them, when you activate, when you move, you get the option of rotating, but of course this happened during his last movement phase, so he hasn't done any movement yet, so they're both adrift. Okay, which is not too much of a problem at the moment. It still keeps everybody in command, which is not going to be too much of a problem, but they are going to have to, you know, they're going to have to probably reach round to starboard there, and yeah, let the other ships keep going. I don't know. It's going to be quite hard. It's going to be quite difficult to close with them. In fact, they can't actually close with these ships up here if they don't come any closer. So that might be beneficial for the French. I mean, what they're trying to do, or the French and the Spanish, of course, is trying to keep their distance there. So anyway, there's the first opening salvos of the battle. I'm not at all happy if I've handled the van here. These lot here, I don't know what I'm doing with them. And the Spanish have swung a little bit too wide there. But we'll see. I mean, they can beat in the wind. They can come down here and beat into the wind if the British carry on and maybe do some passing salvos. You know, these guys really need to make their extra guns count. Especially the Spanish, they've got 0 audacity, and the British have 2, and the French have 1. And of course the British have that +1 aiming at the hull. I know the French have the +1 aiming at the rigging, and though I'm quite new to the system, I can see how that gives the French advantage at range. Okay, it definitely takes, well, it doesn't quite take these 2 ships out, but some careful plotting that could minimise the effect the role of those 2 flagships could have, but it doesn't win your battles. You know, it's those hull hits. So you know, it's a relatively good start, and obviously beating in the wind has really caused the Brits some difficulty there. But you know, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, 6 range. That's, you know, that's reasonable. Can't get your cannonades going, but you can cause some problems. Anyway, so that's the end of turn 4.